19th annual Polar Bear Plunge to benefit Special Olympics is coming up February 28th at Edgewater Beach at Geneva State Park. Chandra Brode is again director of the event. Since she lives near the Indiana border, southwest of Toledo, we caught up with her via telephone to discuss this year's splash.
The plunge is Saturday, February 28th. In the usual location, Edgewater Beach, is where we actually do the physical plunge.
Okay, now,
there in Geneva.
and tell me what's new and different this year.
Well, it's pretty much the same type of events that we've been doing in years past. This is our 19th year, so we're kind of leading up to our 20th year, which is going to be a pretty big celebration. We're planning actually a lot of things, for the 20th year. But for this year, we are going with the tried and true. One of the differences this year that we didn't have it last year either is the super plunge, and we're going to probably stick with we're going to have to cancel that again for this year just for lack of participation. We like to shoot for at least 5 participants to do the super plunge to justify having the dive team in the water starting at 8 o'clock in the morning. We did last year for the first time a Saturday morning awards brunch where we used to have the Saturday night banquet, and we changed that, and it was a big success. So we do have the Friday night DJ, Jeremy James from Mix 97.1 is our DJ. And he's our MC. He comes out, and he also provides music at the beach for us. So Friday night is a great time, and we're doing an 80s theme party this year, which I'm super excited about. I think Friday is going to be such a blast, and we always provide Domino's Pizza from Ashtabula always provides us with great food, and then we also have food catered from the lodge also. So, it's just a great event. We try to provide as much fun as we can for our plungers, and really make it a weekend to celebrate Special Olympics Ohio and, to celebrate our athletes.
Well, when does it all start? Now, do you still have, like, the Mary's Diner, Tipper Cop, and all that kind of stuff?
We do, actually. We will be at Mary's Diner on Thursday from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., and we'll have officers there just working with the waiters and waitresses to collect tips for Special Olympics Ohio, and that is our kickoff event.
That's the 27th.
That's actually the 26th.
Oh, okay, yes. I learned how to read a calendar at some point, but okay, the 26th.
That's okay. I know, we start off early. We really try to, it's like a Thursday through Saturday event. So we do that kickoff at Mary's Diner, and it's just such a great atmosphere in there. Registration actually will open at 4 o'clock on Friday, 4 p.m., and it will run until 9 p.m. And in that time, we have the party in the ballroom going on. We've got great door prizes this year. Outdoor Army Navy always donates great apparel for us, and Ringers does great embroidery for us. So we've got some great plunge apparel. We've got baskets. So we do door prizes, and then we've got something interesting. One of our volunteers, she actually has been a volunteer since the beginning. She made a quilt out of shirts from past plunges, and this is
what a good idea!
People love to do. People love to do this, and we've had them. We had one a few years ago. Every so many years, we collect all the shirts up, and she made this beautiful quilt, and we will have the quilt raffle also this year. So it's just going to be, I just have a really good feeling about this year, Bob. I think it's going to be a great year leading up to our 20th, which is just amazing,
What's going to happen what is the schedule for that day? Now, the plungers from the high school started early last year.
Yeah, we always have the high school students plunge on their own, and it just helps split traffic. We don't have everybody coming in all at the same time. So we have the high school plunge at noon, so the high school students will plunge separately, and we have representatives from Geneva, Lakeside. We have a few students from Conneaut. Perry High School has some students coming. Menor High School has some students coming. So we're going to have a good group of students plunging this year. So they'll be at noon, and then the adult plunge will be at 2 o'clock. So the times are always the same. We try to keep it consistent so that people get used to that routine, because we do have a lot of repeat plungers that come in. So
how long is it now? Do people have until Friday afternoon? That's when they have to register. So if they don't know yet whether they want to do it or not,
they can actually, if they're on the fence about it, we take registration from walk-ins right up until registration closes on Saturday.
Okay.
And registration closes on Saturday at 1 o'clock. And the reason we do that is because our buses will start shuttling people to the beach at 1 o'clock. So that's kind of the last call. And you can, turn in your minimum donation, which is still $100. Mm-hmm. And you can register right up till then. We don't take registrations at the beach. We don't have.
So this is at the lodge.
This is at the lodge,
right.
Here, but all the registrations at the lodge. Yeah, we have people sometimes come down to the beach. We have it. We're usually pretty good about advertising that we don't do beach registration at all. I just checked registration this morning in our online registration, and we're still a week out, so we still have some time to get some last-minute people in. We're at about 265 plungers registered online.
How is that?
Right now.
Perspective-wise?
That's pretty normal.
Is
Yeah,
it?
that's very typical. We actually had a similar number last year, a week before the plunge. So what I have the ability to run reports online, and I can pull up last year's registration numbers, to date, to like a week before. And so we actually are going a week later this year. We actually moved the plunge. It just worked out better with these 9 other plunges in the state to have our plunge be the last weekend. So we have an additional week for people to register, because, normally we would do it this weekend coming up. So I'm kind of grateful we moved it, because I don't think it's going to get any warmer between now.
What is your website for if people want to?
The website is they can go to 2 different websites. polarbearplunge.org will redirect them to the registration website, and the main website would be the Special Olympics Ohio website, which is the www.SOOH.org. That just stands for Special Olympics Ohio. So those 2 sites, you can get to the plunge link to register online.
Is it going to be more challenging this year? I mean, I hear the lake's all frozen over and there's more ice and everything.
You know what? I really, my construction guy, digs the hole every year. He actually sent me a picture of the shoreline here earlier this week, and it looks pretty typical to me, actually. It looks pretty typical. And we're prepared for it. Several Construction, they supply the equipment that we need, and without their equipment and their support, we would never be able to do this. They give us a backhoe and an excavator, and, they're down there Thursday moving snow out of the parking lot. They're, cleaning up the beach, and then Mike usually goes down on Friday, and it looks like, it looks pretty typical, but he knows. He's been digging that hole for a long time, and it takes about 12 to 14 hours to get the hole cleaned out, and, he's up for the challenge, so.
And he goes back.
I trust him.
Doesn't he go back Saturday morning and do a little bit more after Friday night?
Yeah, because usually Friday, between the time that he stops and Saturday morning, it does tend to freeze a little bit. It gets a little bit. And then the dive team will go in and actually help him by taking snow fence. And they will run the snow fence almost like a strainer. And they'll strain and push the chunks that it's hard for him to get out with that snow fence. So it actually, and Bob, I know you've never been in the water.
I get cold watching it.
You never know. Maybe this year will be the year, or maybe you'll do it for the 20th. Maybe that'll be a good time. And you can
That sounds far enough away to do it, yeah.
Yeah. But anyhow, it actually ends up being pretty clear water. After all that, they do a really great job of getting that ice out of there so that people can get through the water easily.
Who are the volunteers? You have the volunteers that are around the peripheral there to make sure that everybody's okay. That's the dive team?
Yeah, that's the Ashtabula County Water Rescue Team.
Okay.
Yeah, we just call them the dive team.
Right.
But they're the county water rescue team. And, they line the lagoon. I call it the lagoon. They line it for us, and they make sure that, we have people go in small groups.
Right.
And they make sure everybody that goes in goes out. And, knock on wood, it's been 19 years, and we have had great success and very few injuries. And most people, if they get into a problem, it's usually because they don't utilize like the heated changing tents that we have, and they're going to stand out there in their cold, wet clothes, and then they'll start to, it can happen fast. You can get that little bit of that beginning of hypothermia pretty quick if you don't get warm, right away. And so, just a few times we've had some people deal with the cold. But for the most part, it's been great, and I attribute that to them. And then, of course, Geneva on the Lake, fire, EMS, they're there with the ambulance, they're there with the squad just to make sure that if anybody does need to get warmed up or has any issues, they're right there to take care of that immediately. So, we try to make it as safe as possible for everybody that attends.
And if you're not going to plunge, you can at least go, because they're the hilarious costumes that people wear. And I've interviewed a lot of the people, and none of them ever said, I'm not going to do it next year. It's just too bad. It's just too terrible. They've all said, yes, I can't wait till next year.
For Special Olympics, I had a great time.
Gonna do it again?
Oh, definitely next year.
You know what? We have a committed group of regulars that come, and we have completely booked the lodge for Saturday night. Every single room Saturday night has been blocked and booked by plungers, and these are our regulars, and they come from everywhere. They come from Cincinnati, Toledo. They're driving. Some of them are driving 3-4 hours to come up to our area because it's a unique opportunity. There's not a lot of places. There's not a lot of open water in February, and if you want to get in the lakes, we dig a nice hole for you. Special Olympics Ohio is just really just dear to me. It is, it's just one of those causes that once you get involved and you see the benefit and you see how it is helping, it just creates joy, and that's just unique in this day and age. So much of what we see and what we hear is negative, and how just bad the world is. But Special Olympics Ohio is really, they are creating joy in people's lives, and so that's just something that kind of grabs hold of me. When I first started getting involved in this, it's like you can just see, and once you get involved, and that's why I think a lot of our plungers come back. We like to put on a good event, but they know where their fundraising dollars are going. They know that it's going to help the athletes. And we have 23,000 athletes in the state of Ohio, and it takes a lot of fundraising dollars to put on these big events for them to compete in and to support their training and things like that. So, it's just one of those things. I'm in it. I'll probably be doing this for quite a while. So
you do other ones too. Do you still do other plunges besides the one at Geneva on the Lake?
I do. I do work a few of the other plunges to help out. I go to Columbus the weekend before my plunge and work out there. And that plunge is growing significantly. I just talked to the the coordinator of that plunge, and she said that they had like 500 registered, and they plunge in a pool at the polar bear exhibit at the Columbus Zoo. So I work a few of them. I go to about 6 of them a year.
You are the ice lady.
Yeah, but this one, the Geneva one, is the one that I started at, and it's the one that, you know, and I too have to also, you know, give recognition, obviously, to the volunteers, because especially now that I live out of the area, they have always done so much, but now it's like even more. I have to lean on them to complete the task in order to get this going.
So February 28th this year, and it starts with the high school students at noon, and then everybody else at 2.
Yes.
Okay, well,
and all that information and the itinerary are on the website.
So cool. Up this way.
Hey, tell me what it feels like.
I can't feel my legs.